Hello and welcome back to your art class. I hope that you are looking forward to doing a nice drawing again with me today. I'm so sorry that I wasn't here last week. I was moving into a new studio space and so everything was a little bit hectic and I didn't want to rush a rubbish video for you. So I hope that if you were looking for something, you found another nice video in amongst the like 70 odd videos that are already on my channel. And if not, then I'm here for you again today to do another nice drawing. I have a cute little drawing lined up for us. It's relatively straightforward, but as always you can elaborate on it, so hopefully you find some inspiration as we draw. Yeah, I'm in a new space, so hopefully the new space brings something new. And spring is here in Berlin. It's been a lovely last few days weather-wise, so everyone's in a great mood, so that makes everything a bit nicer too, doesn't it? Anyway, grab your pens, your paper, brushes and paints if you have them, and let's get on with the drawing. So we're going to start again today by doing a border. Now it can be any kind of border. I think I'm going to do like a little cute frill one. Like these. Remembering it doesn't matter too much. God, I can't do that one so well. It doesn't matter too much how neat it is. I'm going to flip it around to for some reason I find it easier to do curves on one side. Does anyone else find that? And then I'll flip it back just so that I have it the right way up, which doesn't make a difference because it's on a pad where I tear it out anyway, but there we go. All right, now we're going to start our drawing down here in the bottom right corner, and we're going to do basically like a little wobbly line. So start around here and it kind of comes down like a extended U shape like this, and then kind of does a soft kind of line like that. This is quite pronounced. It could be less pronounced than that, even just like a little slight curve like this. Then we're going to curve it up and around, coming slightly up and curving on the top there. So we've got this little shape here. Excuse me, brush. So it's kind of like, to me, it looks a bit like a strawberry almost, like a little strawberry kind of teardroppy shape, but slightly modified. Okay, then the next shape we're going to do is coming from this line here. And again, just keep it soft. We're going to do a line that comes out and around and just let it flick like that. It can be closer to the middle. I wouldn't recommend it flicking off too much, but it can. Then we're going to draw a line from this point, and it's basically going to follow this line but flick up here, but again leaving a good amount of space. So I'm going to come here and flick, and the flick kind of flicks up here. Okay, then we're going to draw another line that starts about here. So you've got a little bit of this line starting around there. And it's going to do a very small curve to start, like this. And then it's going to follow this line, except it's going to get, if anything, bigger. So, or wider, and this is going to go off my page. For you, it might not go off your page depending on where your flick ends. If your flick ended here, you would kind of curl it around. Now we're going to do another line, another curved line. Basically, we're going to copy this shape but do one behind. So I'm going to start it around here, but it could start pretty much anywhere. I'm bringing it around like that. It could also be smaller or even bigger, really doesn't matter today. And now we're going to finish this shape by doing, basically you want this flick again, but I'm going to do it in reverse so that I get the sizing right, because I want this section to be similar size to this section here. That makes sense. So I'm doing a fake flick, and that's going to come off the page with a slight curve here. Can you see what it's going to be? Oh, there's a fly. It's not, don't worry. It's not a big one. I'll let you be for now, fly. It's not a mosquito. The mosquitoes have been coming out. We've seen in at dusk time. It's starting to get warm enough for them. Mosquitoes and I are not friends. Okay, so now you have this shape, this kind of S shape. You can then continue, depending on how much space you have up here, and do the same thing again, give yourself another layer. Or you could finish your shape off here by drawing it to a point and kind of drawing around down here. I'm gonna do a little complicated situation and continue this line and kind of bring it around in a weird shape, and then bring it out around here and do that, because clearly it's a snake, everybody. I'm sure you all probably know that by now, but I know that snakes have kind of weird ability to kind of fold in on themselves, and I want to kind of play with that idea a little bit. So I'm going to just draw my little lines and finish off my snake friend up here like that. But you can play around and see what works best for you. So now I'm going to come back to the face or the head. You see how I've got, this snake has got quite a strong jawline. I'm going to add my eye. So you could just add a circle here on the side. I'm going to add a lidded eye, so an eye like this. And then I'm going to give us a little bit of side eye. Like that. I'll show you more. Side eye snake. And while I'm up here, I'll show you how I'm going to do the mouth and the little nose. So the nose, you can just do little C shapes like this. And then the mouth is up to you. I'm going to make my snake friendly. So it's got a cheeky little smile. Oh, it doesn't really, it looks cheeky, doesn't it? But I like that. In my sketch, it looks friendly. Cheeky. You could also obviously have a tongue coming out if you wanted to, or you could have like, adapt it to have like a slightly open mouth or something in its mouth. Ooh, something in its mouth. What could that be? I'm thinking like, I've got this cute little flower here. Hello. Very cute. Maybe I'm going to get inspiration from my flower over here. So I'm going to do a flowery pattern or design on my snake, but you could do literally anything. You could keep it really simple and do just like dots or hearts. I'm going to do flowers. And not complex ones either. I'm taking inspiration from my gerbera right here. This is going to give me a lot more work when I come to paint it with all of these little pieces, but we're here for it, it's okay. Oh, I could still paint it quite basically, I suppose. Now I'm going to play with this fold over here and think about how this flower would look on this fold. It would be up here, so I guess the petals would be smaller. Did that work? I'm not sure. And then just some petals coming off from a flower which is underneath the snake's belly. I'm into it. I like this flowery. I'll do one again where it's underneath. Flower Power Snake for your comeback drawing. I'm terribly sorry about last week. Like I said, I just moved into a new studio and I just had a lot come at me last week, and I, you know, thought about kind of rushing to get you a subpar drawing class, but then I was like, do you know what? Don't do things by half, Ness. So I let my Instagrammers know. For those of you that don't follow me on Instagram, that is where the action is at for all my news. So you should drop me a follow. It's just NessDoes, the same name. To keep updated. But yeah, so apologies for that. I hope that you found, if you came looking, I hope that you found a nice drawing and painting exercise from the gallery that we have. Got 70 something videos up on my channel, which is pretty cool. I'm really liking this. I'm going to do another one here. It's folded. Inspiration from the spring flowers. Spring is coming. Very, very excited. Honestly, everyone, at least in Berlin, it feels like everyone's just in a much better mood. Walking around, everyone's having a beer, everyone's just like enjoying the sun and the warmth, going out in a t-shirt, say what? Madness, but great. Alright, so there's my flowery situation. Now I do need to ground this snake because at the moment it's just floating in the air. And I think maybe I want to add text today. So in my workshops I talk a little bit usually about how you can do different things to enhance your drawing. And one of the tricks is to add text or customize it with text. And it could be really nice to add like a little message, couldn't it? Again, getting my bubble writing out. I hope I'm not ruining it. So there's hello, and then we're going to do lovely. I think that's quite a nice greeting, isn't it? I just feel warm and fuzzy if someone said that to me. Hello, lovely. In a non-creepy way. I don't like the creepy. Not like, hello, lovely. Could just leave it at hello, love, couldn't you? Hello, love. But no, let's do lovely. Big Y to frame the face. Does it need an exclamation mark? Yeah. I'm pretty impressed with that spacing because I feel like it needs something like almost like grass or something. Just, I don't really want to go over my snake, but just needs a little bit of texture. See, already that's kind of helped. And then of course there's also more you could do on the face. You could add like you know, jewelry or just designs. I don't want it, I really don't want her to look nasty. but I also don't want it to look too feminine, I say, as I add this. So maybe I'll just do a little, I don't know what I'm doing. It's kind of like an abstract heart. Maybe I'm just overdoing it now. I'm going to stop and start painting. But yeah, a little bit of definition's all right, isn't it, on the head? Not sure what that is, but it's something. Okay, that is drawing part done. Congratulations. Okay, and now I have paint. So you see, I've sorted out my palette a little bit. I'm gonna move this guy. Can you still see it? Little flower. And I've got my water pots over here. I've laid out all of the colours to try and remember which brown is which. I should know, but this gave me an excuse to relearn my browns, because I basically took my main palette to my studio space, and this is my backup palette, but it's going to be exactly the same. It's got still all of my artist quality paints on it, but it is slightly different layout because this used to be my main palette. This is a very boring story, I know. This used to be my main palette, and yeah, I must have jiggled things around as I started the new one. So anyway, I'm going to get my Naples yellow to start, which is down here. Feeling the yellow kind of spring gentle vibes, and I'm going to paint the whole snake. So I'm going to start up here. Again, this is my slightly bigger brush, and I feel like it's the same, I think it's the same size in terms of number, it's a size 12, but like with clothing, the sizes don't correlate between different brands. So this is a Pro Art size 12 brush, Proline Plus 007, and my other one is an Australian brand, I think, and they're both size 12, but this one's a little bit bigger and feels a little less controlled, like a little bit more clumsy, but still nice. So if I make it look rubbish today, it's because I'm just not used to it. Not to say one is better than the other, they're both nice brushes, but I'm just more used to the other one, and like anything, it takes practice to get used to your tools. And so my workshop that I did, my Easter workshop, was really lovely on Good Friday. Had such a nice group of people. Been so lucky since I restarted my workshops. I mean, I'm always pretty lucky with the people that come, but in terms of like how lovely they are, but I feel like especially over the last couple of months when I've restarted my in-person workshop in Berlin, every person that's come has been just an absolute dream. So that's nice, isn't it? Nice to do a bit of art with other people. Especially nice and chill, creative, super lovely people. So this is my Naples yellow. It feels quite matte, gentle, not too overbearing. It's probably more of an opaque colour than other colours, but obviously you can still see the line, the pen underneath it. But if you're to apply it quite thickly, which I won't do, it will cover the fine liner a little bit more, just make it look seem a little bit cloudy. You could also play here with like the tonal value of the paint and just have like the front bit really dark and the back bit really light of the same colour. That could have been really cool. I didn't think of that. So that's the base, and then I'm going to do a background of, I think, pink. Let's go for pinky. So we've got our alizarin crimson. I'm not sure what this one is because that was just on my palette. Oh, it looks a little bit alizarin crimson-y. But I used to have a load of other pink paints, so it could be, and then they all dried up, so I don't have them anymore, so it could be one of those. Let's start down here, let the top bit dry a little bit before I'm stretching over with my arm. And just keeping it simple with the painting style today, I think. I think I want to do the border purple, but you know what, I could just paint the whole thing. Yeah, I'm going to do that to make it quicker. I'm going to paint the whole thing in this pink and then go over in the purple because the purple is dominant enough to paint over the pink nicely, I think. I'm getting paint everywhere. Just makes it quicker, doesn't it? You don't have to worry about going over the lines because now we're intentionally going over the lines. I'm going to just turn it a little bit so it's easier for me. And this drawing is not inspired by any one illustrator, but there are lots of illustrators who do or have done lovely paintings and drawings and illustrations of snakes. So I just had a little look on Pinterest actually, which is a great resource for finding compositions and inspiration for this kind of thing where you're just playing. And yeah, there's loads of different ones. I was trying to think about how complex I wanted my snake body to be, because there are some where the snake is completely wound up on itself and looping and everything like that, and that, although it can look very cool, there's also ones where the snake body is like very simple, like literally just a squiggly line that doesn't even fold in on itself, and it's like a more simple boxy approach, but that also looks quite nice. So yeah, if you want to paint, do this again, and get with your friends and do a little snake painting, get yourself on Pinterest and have a little look at some inspiration. I'm just going to hold my wrist steady so I can get into that little crevice. My big brush that I'm not used to. Yeah, because I bought this brush thinking like I should stop using just one brush. I need to branch out, and maybe a slightly bigger one will be even nicer, but I am just such a creature of habit and I always pick up my OG brush, original. So now we need to wait for that to dry before we paint the purple, because we know what happens with the purple when you put it on too soon. It will just rampage everywhere. So I'm going to dry off my brush a little bit, and I guess we could play with the flowers. So could do a slightly darker yellow or brighter yellow. Let's have a little mix up here. We've got the cadmiums, which are very powy, but maybe they'll be too powy, so maybe I'll add in a little bit of yellow ochre. Maybe I'm going to go for more earthy. Yeah, actually, more earthy tone of petal for my flower. So let's start down here where the pink is a little bit more dry. Oof, this is tough with this brush. I need to practice for sure getting the thinner bits, and this ochre is also quite opaque, so it paints over the line. So it might be worth me, once this is dry, going back over with the fine liner if I want it to be really crisp. A really crisp fine line mark. Could also paint these flowers different colours. I wonder what you've done on yours, whether you did flowers or whether you did another design. And now are you going wild with the colours? Or are you keeping it simple like me? Okay, this is going to take me ages, so I might speed this up. So now it is dryish. I'm going to go in with my purple. Get it on my brush. And then again we're going to do the manoeuvring around. So let's start down here. I'm just trying to do this as quick as possible. Got quite a lot of water on my brush. That's the thing, this brush carries a lot, so let's drag it. Blob and drag. Giving myself a lot of work with this design. Imagine if it was just straight up and down, it'd be well easy. But no. But it's cute. I like the frilly look. See how I haven't re-dipped once, and obviously the purple is getting less and less strong, but it's actually fine. It's kind of enough. I suppose what I could do is pop in at the top here a little bit more pigment and just bring it down, but then again it's just like double the work then really, isn't it? Although if I just do it really quickly. Doesn't need to be perfect. I just risk making it messy now, so. Then we turn it and we do the same. We're going to bring it down. It's nice that this talk properly. It's nice that this painting is on a block of paper, because it means that it's gummed all the way around, so it stays really nice and flat. The thing when you have like a loose sheet of paper is the corners might curl in or up as it's drying when it gets wet and dry, and that would then make it a lot harder to paint these borders with such precision, such precision as mine. But you can also tape your paper, of course, and then you would have a little white outline, white frame, a natural white frame, which can also look really nice and be the border without you having to paint it or draw it on. But yeah, like I say, I don't need to because I have this gummed pad, which I've got to say is my fave to paint on. I know in theory I could probably save a lot of money by just painting all of these paintings that we do in a sketchbook, and it has crossed my mind, but I just get so much joy from painting on this paper that I'm like, well, it's a little bit more expensive, but I enjoy it so much. And it's only once a week that I paint on this paper, really, because all my illustration stuff I actually do in a sketchbook because it's just easier to like move around. I don't know, why do I do that? It's just my ways. We've all got weird little habits, haven't we, that you just form from living your life. Oh, we are nearly there. Let's get a little bit more. I'm going to come in from this side so that I can spread the pigmented purple out. Maybe go back on myself a little bit so the contrast isn't so stark here, because this really was quite light without purple pigment. Can you tell? Is it dark? Is it too dark, this lighting? I'm in a different place, but I'm right next to the light again. It's the lighting situation. I need a tech person to come and set me up. If you know of anyone who does it for just out of the good of their own heart in Berlin, let me know. Because, yeah, looks cute though. I like the purple. I could go over the bottom bit too, but it's going to just take probably too long. So what I'm going to do now is, oh no, I've dipped my brush right into the purple. I am going to just go over the text really quickly. It might not be perfect, but it needs to show up for the final reveal. It just gets a little bit lost in amongst the pink, so cute. And then I'm just, because I have a load of purple on my brush because I accidentally just shoved it right in the middle of the wet blob, I'm just going to go in and light and darken this bottom bit because it was a bit light for what I was looking for, but didn't really want to have to do this, but here we are. Don't want to waste the purple paint. There we go. Very good use of paint, Ness. Then the last thing I want to do is just paint in the dots of the flowers. And I think I'm going to use my cadmium orange for this. So, for my fresh blob, get a nice bit and just make it pop. I was going to do purple for this, but actually I thought that'd be too obvious, you know, so gotta keep them guessing. And orange obviously kind of links in with these funky colours, and it's very opaque, this one, so I will probably go, once it's dry, go back over with fine liner and do the little dots. And then the eye, I guess I could do a little orange eye bit, because it is a snake after all. Now also, I know I'm going to leave it there today, but in my mind I'm like, oh, I want to add more shading to Mr. Snake or Miss Snake. You know, adding in shading here and stuff like that. I think that would really help, but I think we're going to leave it there for today because it's been quite a long journey to get here. Oops. So there we have our lovely snake. Hello, lovely. Boom. There we have our drawing. I actually really like it. I think it's very cute. I think it would make a really nice greetings card or something like that. What do you think? Did you enjoy it? Did you have a nice time? It's quite cool, isn't it, how you can just come up with quite a simple design and add a few little bits and bobs and it comes into its own and makes like quite a nice final painting. I'm pretty happy with my colour palette as well. Obviously pink, purple and yellow is quite a funky combination, but I think it's held quite well with the drawing. Anyway, let me know what you thought as always. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for all of the love that you give me, all the likes and the comments and everything like that. It means so much to know that you're enjoying the classes too. I do really think that once a week doing a little bit of something creative is super valuable. It definitely makes me feel better anyway. So I will see you next week for another session of art class, and until then, take care of yourselves, have a lovely week, and I will see you then. Bye!